Hello, everyone. I'm City of Las Vegas Communications Director David Riggleman. Thanks for joining us for Access City Council. Coming up on this show, a brand new playground at Gary Reese Freedom Park opens just in time for summer, and residents gather to help plan for the future of Huntridge Circle Park. Of course, the councilwoman who represents Ward 3 is Olivia Diaz. She joins me now. Welcome back. How are you?
I'm doing great, David. How have you been?
I've been trying to stay cool.
Yes.
It's been a little rough this summer.
This summer, I think after a year of being mostly indoors, I think a lot of us had forgotten.
Let's get
Even
outside.
us native
Maybe not.
Las Vegans had forgotten how intense, but I keep telling my husband, I don't know, the jump from like 90s to 115 is very
even for those
rough.
of us, you're born and raised. I've lived here 30 plus years. You get to a point where it gets over 107, 110.
It's rough.
Yeah, it's really rough, even for those of us who've been here a long time.
You just have to try to plan when you're going, how you're going. My steering wheel, I can't touch it.
Exactly. Happens all
I have
the
to
time.
park outside, so,
Yeah. Rough. You got to get the little visor thing to cover. Otherwise, it's impossible. You got to wait for the thing to cool down, which it never does right away. So
leave your windows cracked too, so that it doesn't
get some air.
Circulate.
And please don't leave the pets or the kids
in the
car. Oh, my
goodness. It's that time of the year that we have to really be in the moment and present and make sure everyone who's getting in the car comes out of the car with us at any stop.
Yeah,
it's
so
too
true.
hot.
Yeah, so true. Well, Councilwoman, you are born and raised Ward 3. You know it very well. Heck, you're a native for sure.
Yeah.
For those of you out there not exactly sure where Ward 3 is located, well, don't worry. We're going to show you here on the map. It's that area in blue over there on the right-hand side or the eastern side of the city of Las Vegas. If you live in that area or work in this area, then you are, of course, in the city limits of the city of Las Vegas. And, of course, if you are a resident there, you are represented on the city council by Olivia Diaz. You've been on the council now for over a year?
It's going on 2
years.
David. Yes.
See, the pandemic, I've kind of lost all track of time. Yeah, 2 years.
Early July of 2019, we were sworn in.
You seem like such a veteran now. It seems like you've just been doing this forever, you know.
I can tell you I'm not drinking from a fire hydrant at this point, maybe a fire hose, but it's getting better and we're learning more every day.
Well, you hit the ground running and then we had the pandemic, so you've done just an admirable job of keeping up with everything and keeping your community focused, organized, kind of comforted through this whole ordeal that we've been through.
We definitely want to make sure that we recognize their needs and that we try to support them as much as we can.
You certainly have done that, and then some over this past 14, 15 months. But let's start off talking parks.
Okay.
Yeah, you got some exciting information to help pass out there to everybody about parks. You posted this on Facebook. You said it was a beautiful day to cut the ribbon for the Superbuild 2021 playground at Gary Reese Freedom Park. This is very exciting, Councilwoman. This is a big partnership kind of headed up by Fox 5, you and others, but man, look at that.
It's been a work in progress. I believe around February we started the whole Superbuild project by going and actually announcing that Fox 5 was partnering with us with another host of amazing partners to redo the children's play area at Gary Reese Freedom Park that needed a lot of TLC. David, there were slides that were broken and kind of basically gated off for use because they were just they were in disrepair. And we were looking at even trying to recycle the playground equipment, but when it came out, we couldn't even recycle it. So it was that old. It was needed, and I'm just so excited for our Strong Start Academy kiddos who were able to come and be part of the festivities.
And also toy giveaway.
Yes, we did with United Movement of Organized Kindness. They had leftover Christmas gifts, and we said, why not bring them out? We're going to have kids.
That's awesome.
We know we also had some kids from Gambedo and Cicirano stop by, and a lot of parents were happy to see that finally the playground equipment was there to be used by their little ones. And that day we had some really benevolent weather too as we cut the ribbon.
Exactly. It wasn't completely stifling that day. We had that little respite in there. That was June 17th. We should mention to everybody, Fox 5 kind of heads up a Superbuild. Every year they bring all these community partners together, and we were just lucky enough this past time that they picked a City of Las Vegas project.
And it's the first time that the Raiders allow a municipality to use their image and their logo. So Raiders is present. Silver and black is in that park. So another reason to come and check out the helmet.
Oh, that's awesome. That's right. There's the Raiders helmet there, and Thanks to the Raiders organization for being such a great partner. There were others, Fox 5, many others.
Home Depot, Les Olson, but I can't remember all of you, but from the bottom of my heart, on behalf of Ward 3 residents, thank you. Thank you for the Superbuild. It turned out amazing.
Gary Reese Freedom Park over there, kind of off of Washington.
And Mojave.
And Mojave, yeah. It's a beautiful regional park. And named after an important person.
Yes.
You posted this on Facebook as well. You said today, the Las Vegas City Council and I wished former Mayor Pro Tem and Ward 3 Councilman Gary Reese a very fabulous 80th birthday, and there he is at City Council.
So for those of you that may not know, Gary Reese was a predecessor in this seat. So before Councilman Coffin, Councilman Reese held this Ward 3 City Council seat and did amazing work for our ward. I mean, we had the East Las Vegas Community Center added. We had Rafael Rivera Community Center added. We had some just parks redone under his leadership, and so I thought it was really important to bring back, give Gary some love. We had the mariachi singing happy birthday in Spanish to him, and that's the mariachi from Las Vegas High School. So they did a beautiful job, and we just wanted to give Gary some love and let him know, you know, congratulations for that milestone of 80 years. And he still works every day at his barber shop.
I know.
Or almost every day. His calendar fills up pretty quick, and he does not like to not be at work. So we're just so happy that we still have him, and he's part of, he's a very staunch advocate for Ward 3.
Yeah, and a big supporter of what you're doing as well, for sure. And Councilwoman, so nice that not only was the park named after him, but also that you recognized him for his contributions to the community as well.
Absolutely, we got to do it while we're here. That's for not when folks leave us and we're then recognizing their contributions. I think we always need to let people know you're doing awesome today.
Yeah,
every day.
The old phrase is give people the flowers while they're still here. Yeah, that's a great point. And speaking of parks, I'm so excited. At Harris Marion Park, you broke ground on that last week.
Yes.
Now, this is going to have a horse component, right?
It's an equestrian themed children's play area, but we will have an equestrian area too, and then a soccer field. And we're hoping that has just been like an undeveloped piece of parcel that's kind of in a weird triangle adjacent to the wash. And we're just so excited that we're bringing, as part of our vision as a city, Imagine Parks LV, we want to make sure that regardless of where you live in a city of Las Vegas, you have a park within 10 minutes walking distance from your home. And it's a little bit challenging in the more mature neighborhoods because we've already kind of been built out, and it's not as easy as a master plan community where you kind of conceptualize the niche park around the development. But we're trying to offer the same amenities that you're seeing in these master plan communities closer to home. And so can't wait for fall of 2022. So we put in our shovel for the very first time, broke ground, and now the work will continue through about fall of 2022 when hopefully we'll be able to cut that ribbon and the community can enjoy it.
So Councilwoman, will people bring their horses there? Will there be horses there that people can ride, or how will that how will that
it's
all come
adjacent. So if you even go now during a weekend, you'll see horses walking, you'll see people riding their horses down the street right there in front of Del H. Robeson Middle School. So there's a horse-zoned community that abuts right to that park. So I think
they take their ponies right down there.
I think they can pretty much ride their horses to the equestrian area.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
That's why it's fused like that, and we offered that component because we recognize that in the community there are some horses.
That's great. That's great. That's an exciting addition. We got dog parks, not many horse parks.
Not
so
really.
I've
only heard of a Lone Mountain one that's also in the Clark County region. So this will be unique.
This is good stuff. And let's not forget Huntridge Circle Park. That's always been a question. It's been closed for a while because of some issues that have taken place, some violent issues there.
So when I came to the seat, it was already closed. And then I know that neighbors, told me about their concerns about reopening the park without having a plan. So I thought this was a time, as we're coming out of the pandemic, things are kind of feeling like we're more comfortable meeting again. And I wanted to do a temperature check and a check-in with the neighbors of that park to just kind of see what do they want. Obviously, it's been closed for a little over 2 years,
Yeah.
I think since 2018, and we were just having a conversation and surveying our neighbors to see what their druthers are.
It was a great meeting. This took place back on June 14th. It was in person. You can see we had a good turnout of people that came to City Hall. People could vote on what they thought about opening the park, what amenities it should have. But it was really cool, Councilwoman, because we also had people watching on TV and watching also
online.
Yeah, exactly.
So they were able to also be part of the survey. They could just put in the, go to that website and put in the code for it, and they were participating in the survey equally. They didn't have to be necessarily in person or present. I want to thank Greg Weitzel for being there with me that
Parks
night.
Rec Director.
Chief Luis Molina was there also answering a lot of public safety concerns and questions, and also Nancy for being an amazing
on my team. Yeah,
MC.
she was your MC that night.
Yeah, she did a great job.
People were really good. I know that's been a contentious issue at times over the years, but everybody I thought was really insightful, polite. I thought it was a good meeting.
Overwhelmingly, their support for reopening the park. Public safety still is a matter that they want to make sure that we're addressing in the reopening of the park. And it sounds like there's different ideas for programming with farmers markets and other types of activities. So we'll see. This is the first step of many, and it's going to take at least 18 to 24 months for us to really get a program together.
Work it all together, yeah. So
but we'll be checking in with the community as we're continuing to plan.
Yeah, and if you have an opinion on that, especially if you live in that area, Councilwoman would love to hear from you, and we'll tell you before the end of this program how to get in touch with you if you have a thought on that. So, and this is exciting too. You have a new theater downtown. So it's been kind of repurposed, but the Art House Theaters. It's going to be movies, but other stuff too, right?
It's off the 3rd Street Promenade. The amazing infrastructure upgrades that we put in on that street just make it an amazing place to go check out. So. I didn't know that was the mascot for our aviators.
Yeah, they have 2.
So I got to actually meet him that day at the Art House opening.
He's a celeb, a local celeb for sure.
So you'll be able to still enjoy movies if you go to the Art House Theater, but there's also a restaurant bar concept on the 2nd floor, and they'll be bringing in live entertainment. So those of you that live in downtown and like to play in downtown, a new place for you to check out.
You know, in downtown, Brewery Row is in your ward, and that has just exploded with popularity. And now you've got yet another attraction. Downtown is really, and the Arts District, specifically in the area over in Ward 3, is really, it's coming together.
It is coming together, and it's we're happy that things are lively. There's lots of business. Business is good. We have some growing pains with the parking, but we're working on that parking situation. So know that.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
And I know a lot of people complain about the cars being towed, but I don't think the city tows them. Those are the parcel owners. So just for clarity, the city doesn't send the tow trucks. It's the people who own the lots where people park.
If you park on somebody's property and they don't want you there, then your car could get towed. But we, the city, we don't tow your car.
But we are providing some very thoughtful alternatives. So stay tuned, because as soon as we put those together, we'll share those on our social media and through the city about expanded parking access to the Arts District, because everybody wants to be there. It's a happening place.
It is. It's funny. We went from just wishing that people would come down there to now
having a lot of people. So that's a good problem.
Exactly, but we'll solve it. We always do. So. And then, Councilwoman, you posted this too. This is really exciting too. More businesses opening. You posted this. You said, congratulations on your grand opening, Canistars, and congrats to you too, Commissioner Dick Seger-Blum, on your well-earned star. And so you have to tell everybody what this business is.
Yeah, so this is one of the very few female-owned cannabis dispensaries here in Las Vegas that's owned actually by 2 ladies. So it's not even corporate-owned. And I was able to approve this dispensary coming in probably about 2 years when I was freshly sworn into the seat. And Brenda and Alex were so gracious enough to thank me and invite me to the ribbon cutting of they did an amazing job. I don't know if you remember, David, but that used to be the Peep Show location. So
that's the building. Yeah, okay, I see. I didn't get the connection there. Yeah.
So they did an amazing job just rebuilding it, making it look amazingly fresh, and obviously they honored Commissioner Seger-Blum with his own star, Canna Stars. So he's the first star of the cannabis So
because of his influence
very
on
much
having
so.
it legalized
Yes,
here in
yes.
Nevada.
He's been a very strong proponent of pro-cannabis.
Well, it's funny that, Councilwoman, that's one of the first things you voted on, and now they're off the ground. 2 years later, they're open for business.
Yeah,
So,
things take time, and a lot of times there's a lot of layers that businesses have to navigate. So first they have to get approval, then they have to go through the building and rehabbing process, which can take some times and turns, and and I'm just happy they're finally able to officially open.
Well, then they had a little thing called this pandemic that threw a little bit of roadblock up in front of everybody, but they made it through all that.
They made it through.
Off and running they are.
So best of luck to Brenda and Alex.
All right, very good. And then, Councilwoman, this was awesome too. This is a big deal for your ward, the city as a whole, and for Las Vegas as a whole. The National Teacher of the Year, first time ever from Nevada, was selected, Juliana Urtubey, and she is a Ward 3 resident.
She's a Ward 3 resident. She lives in Crestwood, and just super excited as a teacher. I know how much work we put into educating our kids, caring about them, and making them feel that love of learning and piquing that curiosity, and it's just amazing to have her just represent us collectively, not just in Nevada, but nationally. So now she's going to be a new celeb going on tour and talking about the importance of being so in tune with the needs of your kids. She's a special education teacher.
There she is.
She's very involved in the school's gardens, and she tries to get her students involved in that as well. And I love that she loves the work, because that's when you have that impact that you want to see.
For sure.
And growing the minds of tomorrow and the future leaders of tomorrow.
She was really something, because the First Lady of the United States came to select her and to notify her that she had won that honor. But she was very humbled just to get an award from the City Council as well, which was very, it was just nice to see. It was a big deal, even at the local level, to be honored.
I just think
like
teachers
that.
are some of those unsung heroes. We don't hear it. We hear more praises for law enforcement or firefighters and military. We feel teachers are equally as important in our communities, and so I thought it was important to highlight her work and her achievement.
Yeah, congratulations, a big deal.
Yes.
So, and I'm glad that
Felicidades, Juliana.
Yeah, exactly, that we got to honor her as well. Councilwoman, it's graduation time, and we got to do them in person this year. Last year, the graduations were really odd because of the pandemic.
Yes.
Students were able to graduate again in person.
They had to have two graduations to split up the groups, make them smaller, so not all the families. They limited.
Exactly. It's a little more logistics.
4 family members per graduate, so not completely back to normal, but at least they were able to walk across the stage.
And wear their caps and gowns and all that. I mean, they could last year, but in a virtual setting. But you were the keynote speaker at Rancho.
I
Green
graduated
Rands.
from Rancho, and I was 25 years later invited to give the keynote address to the students, the graduating class of 2021. So I was very elated to do that. And then we offered a token of recognizing how hard of a year and a half they've had to culminating their high school studies, and we gave students at Rancho, Global Community High School, Desert Pines, and Valley High School a rose, just as a little token of saying, you guys have been resilient. Thank you so much. And it was funny because some of the boys said, this is the first rose I've ever received. Because we just went across the board, roses for everyone.
Good.
So.
See, you know what? Why not? Why not?
Flowers should be for everyone.
Exactly. Like you wear a corsage when you do things, or wear a little
boutonniere, and then sometimes in Hawaii, the leis. And so flowers just are supposed to be a token of appreciation.
Especially at a graduation. It's a big deal, So congratulations. So you were the keynote. What did you tell the kids? What were some of the messages you had as your keynote address?
Basically that there's ups and downs in life. It goes really, really fast, but keep those mentors around you that see the best in you before you even recognize it. So keep those mentors as guides to help you through life, because we're constantly going to need that help and support and that vision of what we yet don't see.
That's great, Councilwoman.
Developing.
That's great. That's good. Can invite you back next time. That's a good message.
And then we also thank the parents for helping them.
Mom and dad.
Yes,
and,
they're the first school, and they're part of the success of students as well. So gave them kudos and had them stand up.
It's as much a graduation for them as it is for their.
Well,
for
a lot of our
children.
parents didn't even have the opportunity to graduate, so when their kids do, it's monumental.
Yeah, it sure is.
A
It
game
sure
changer.
is. It's a big deal. And then, Councilwoman, you posted this on Facebook. You said, "What a productive day in Ward 3. This afternoon, I visited the pop-up COVID-19 vaccine clinic at East Las Vegas Community Center, along with U.S. Senator Jackie Rosen and CEO and Senior Provost of Touro University, Shelley Berkeley."
So we were there as the second dose of the vaccination was being offered at East Las Vegas Community Center after the May 5th Cinco de Mayo festivity that we had. Touro was our partner in making sure that we had the Army to put the shots in the arms. And so I'm thankful that Senator Rosen came out to thank the Touro University students. We had Shelley Berkeley, who's the president of Touro, out also to just thank the hours and hours of work these students are doing to help our communities be safer.
So often you'll see volunteers out there before the vaccines were available testing people, Touro University students. After the vaccines became available, people out giving the shots, Touro University students.
Yeah, and there's UNLV and Roseman, because I've gone to so many, our fire department.
Yep.
It's taking all of us coming together to get the work done on behalf of our community.
Exactly,
So,
spreading the work, because there's a lot of arms that needed
but
the
absolutely,
vaccine.
thank you to Touro University and their medical students and their team there that are making it happen everywhere.
It's exciting. It's exciting. And then, speaking of vaccinations, we mentioned Global High School. There was a vaccine event that took place on June 14th over there, right?
Yes, so this happened on their campus, and we had a pop-up. We brought the vaccines to the community. As we know, David, the East Side was impacted the most with COVID-19 rates in terms of positivity rates, and so we just want to make sure that access is not, or lack of information, or not knowing where to go to get your vaccine is not an impediment for people to actually get their immunization. So Mi Familia Vota teamed with us, REACH teamed with us, the City of Vegas. We had Governor Stislak come out, Commissioner Sager-Bloom also came out to see what was happening there. And so it's just been a collaboration of many folks trying to make sure that our community knows where to go if they want to be vaccinated, and that it's completely free, and it's going to help keep them safe, because now with the resurgence of COVID positivity rates in South America, for example, and the variants that are coming in, I mean, having the vaccine gives us at least protection from a strain or a variant, but I've heard from folks that if they've gotten COVID after being vaccinated, you still can get it. But they feel that, wow, it's pretty tough with the vaccination. So how will it feel? How would it have felt if we came down with with it without it?
Well, how many people passed away from it, Councilwoman? You know, so it's just that safeguard. And the thing of it is too is that we're trying to get to 70% of the population being vaccinated to create that herd immunity.
Yes.
And here in Clark County, those 18 and older, you're on the Health District Board, you know these numbers very well. We were at about 60%, so we're getting there.
We're getting there.
Yeah, we're getting there.
And hopefully through these incentives, you know, the state is doing lotteries.
Win some money, win $1 million,
You can go get vaccinated and, you know, maybe get some goodies, some giveaways that are happening through different pop-ups. So, but I think at the end of the day, we just want to make sure that we're creating that herd immunity and that layer protection, because we don't want to go back to
let's get rid of
what
this,
we went through in March of last year.
Let's
so we're all
down.
Trying to be proactive.
It's the idea. A herd immunity basically means that we are virtually wiping out the virus, or the opportunity for it to spread.
The risk for it to come back.
So let's not do that again. That pandemic was no fun.
No, it wasn't.
And then on the same day, June 14th, there was the anniversary, the DACA anniversary.
This was actually same day, Rafael Rivera. And so Dream Big Vegas has their offices out of there. Astrid Silva leads that effort, and she helps our dreamers with the DACA process. And so if you were a childhood arrival and you came here months to a certain age, you have the ability to apply for DACA status, and this was something that was potentially going to go away. Thankfully now it's still in place, and actually they're accepting new DACA applications, so there may be youth that didn't want to apply because they just didn't know the fate of it. But we're just there. You saw Commissioner McCurdy, Councilman Isaac Barone. We were just leaders of the community. We're there to just say Congress needs to come up with a long-term solution for our DACA students, for our dreamers, because they are from our community. They were pretty much raised by us. They
for
were
all intents and
educated
purposes,
here.
They were born in another country, but
We need
grew
the
up here.
teachers, we need the nurses, we need the professionals they can be to step up and help our communities. And I just would like to see them finally get a path to residency and eventually citizenship.
They're kind of in limbo.
Right
and I
now,
think,
they have to be applying every 2 years, and it's a temporary work permit and a temporary status, and so it'd just be nice. It would be like just that load taken off their shoulders.
What's my future?
Yes,
that's
the
what we all wanna know.
uncertainty, right?
Yeah.
So like what we just went through the pandemic, they have to go through every day.
Yeah.
So I'm hopeful.
Yeah.
It should be something everyone can get on board and resolve.
Yeah, I think it's going to get figured out. We're moving in that direction.
I hope so.
Well, Councilwoman, the time always flies when we do this. But
does.
I got to tell everybody out there before we run out of time, hey, we always want to hear from you out there. So if there's something you'd like to share with Councilwoman Olivia Diaz, you can find her on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And you can also contact her just by picking up the phone. We still do that, 702-229-4623, or send her an email. Her address is odiaz@lasvegasnevada.gov, and she or one of her great staff will get right back to you. And I know you get a lot of questions about everything under the sun, whether it's city related or not.
No, and we love to hear from our community. Keep us posted on what's happening, what we need to pay more attention to, and just any general inquiries. And
we're here for you. That's our message.
Absolutely.
Well, Councilwoman, great job as always. Love to have you on the show, and we'll see you back in 6 weeks with another update.
It'll be here before we know it.
It will. We always joke about that.
Probably close to like school opening at that point, right? Because my son, like August 9th.
Coming up.
Absolutely.
Enjoy summer now, kids, because it goes by fast, as you well know.
Stay cool, stay hydrated, everyone.
Exactly. Good advice. And folks, Councilwoman, thanks so much. And folks, listen, don't miss our next show beginning on July 15th with Ward 2 City Councilwoman Victoria Seaman. You can catch all of our KCLV shows on Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire. And don't forget, you can watch us live on the internet at kclv.tv. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time around.